Hello, everybody. My name is Lupe Alsidez. I am a Chicano from the west side of San Antonio. Um, Trying something different. This thing does not seem to be able to stand up straight, so I don't know if I look crooked to you guys or not. But since I did put myself out there with the previous video and I talked about my criminal record, I thought I would talk about something personal, another topic that's very personal to me, and that is my drug use. I am a recovering addict. I say that because I have been a drug abuser. I have gone to treatment, and if you believe in those things, then you believe in once an addict, always an addict. I'm not going to argue with those ideologies, those concepts. That's not what I'm here to do. My thing is to tell you about my personal experiences. With that being said, my disclaimer for this video is these are my own personal thoughts, views, and my own personal life experiences. I have been clean from my drug of choice, which was cocaine, since April of 2004. I can't pinpoint exactly what day it was that I stopped using. I just remember it was sometime in April of 2004. I just finally decided I'm done. I broke up with Coke and we went our separate ways. Um, I started using around 16 years old. I remember I first smoked my first joint around 16. I was drinking around the same time. I can't pinpoint or remember exactly when it was. It was around that time. And I think the reason it was so easy for me to stop was because it was so easy for me to start. I honestly believe that I used out of curiosity. Somebody handed me a joint. Let's try it out and see what this stuff is about. Somebody handed me a beer. Let's drink this stuff, see what it's about. A few years later, I was given some Coke for free. Never done this before. Let's try it out. Despite all the stuff that we had been told in school, in life, and all that stuff, I was already out of high school, so I said, let's try it out, see what the stuff is about. I liked it. Coke was a very, very awesome rush, I guess you could say. I don't know how else to explain it. Uh, and I used. I honestly cannot say that I was ever like hardcore addicted. I never really needed to get high. I just enjoyed it. And that's probably going to cause a lot of controversy if anybody even sees my video, but it's probably going to cause a lot of controversy because I know that the definition of being an addict is needing to use the substance, whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever. I stopped smoking cigarettes in October of 2002. My first wife at the time didn't like it, so I stopped. And people would ask, "How did you stop?" I just stopped buying them. I stopped smoking them. For me, it was easy, but for me, stop stopping to smoke, stop smoking. I don't know how to say it. Being able to stop smoking was easy because I made up my mind. For me personally, being able to stop doing drugs was easy because I made up my mind not to do it. Um, I don't know if I was ever truly addicted to drugs or smoking because of the fact that I didn't need it. I was able to just stop cigarettes. I just stopped buying them. drugs. I just stopped buying them and I just stopped using them. Um, I didn't want to. That's why I kept using for so long. I even got to the point where I was shooting up coke, and that was like beyond an amazing high. Um, but I got arrested. I went to jail. I went to treatment, and I think it was around January '94 was the last time I shot up. Um, because I got arrested a few weeks later, and then I went to jail. I spent 11 months in jail and at the rehab. When I finally got out, I was like, I'm done with drugs. Well, I did stop shooting up. I'll be fair. To be fair, I did stop shooting up, but I would still snort coke, um, because I liked it, not because I needed it. Um, I didn't really see that I needed to stop, and that's the thing. I wasn't like I needed to survive. I needed to function. I just liked doing it. I mean, to me it was fun. Um, and I kept using, I kept using. Then I got arrested again for the DUI and possession. Went to treatment, but I got arrested in and I'll never forget this. I got arrested July 3rd, 2003. uh, my lawyer kept getting it reset where I didn't go back to court and finally got sentenced in June of 2004. But I did stop using in April of 2004. For some reason, I don't remember exactly why. I just made up my mind that I was done. I was done. I was so done. I'm like, I'm done. And um, I may say this story again when I talk about my experience with going to jail. I don't know if I ever have or not, but this story you might hear more than once. So when you first get um, incarcerated and you get processed in the Bexar County jail, within the first 2 days they put you in some kind of, I forgot what it's called, but it's a processing period where they're trying to decide where to place you in the jail. They interview you and find out like what your background is, what your educational background is, what your work background is, what your criminal background is, to see if they can put you one in general population. If you're like this hardcore mass murderer, obviously you cannot go to general population. If you're gang related or affiliated, you can't go to general population. Um, Things like that. So I was in there for like minor stuff. I mean, possession was a felony. Go figure, right? And at the time, the DUI was a misdemeanor. So they came and interviewed me, and I will never forget this. She's interviewing me. She's asking me your name, age, blah blah blah, this and that. What's your educational background? And I'm a junior in college. I'm thinking I'm all bad and everything. And she says, have you ever been to jail? And I was like, you see, UTSA, I have been to college. Um, she says, have you ever been to jail before? And I said, yeah, once or twice. And she says, try eight. Eight. Within a 10-year period, 8 times. And I was like, wow. And she says, yeah, think about that. And she walks away. And I always tell people that I did think about it. I thought about it for a really, really long time. And when it comes to addiction and the 12 steps and all that stuff, I went to AA. I didn't do the 12 steps. I read the Bible. I still have my book somewhere. It's around here somewhere. And I actually keep it next to my Bible. Um, I did read the 12 steps, but I didn't really do them because I didn't feel like I needed to do them. But I thought about it. I thought about what she said, And I did a lot of the things that they talk about in the 12 steps on my own. To me, that was my moment of clarity. I I was like so shocked and distraught by what she said. 8 times in a 10-year period. And all I kept thinking about was God did not intend for me to live my life this way. I refuse to live my life this way. So I reflected a lot on how I was living my life, what I had done with my life, and where my life was headed. And all I kept thinking about was I lost the job that I had. And I had a, not only did I have a good job, I was going to get promoted to supervisor. But since I had to go to jail and do the rehab, I lost that job. I ended up losing the car that I had. I ended up losing the home that we had, and long story short, I ended up losing the wife that I had. So, for me, that was rock bottom. That was rock bottom, and if you believe in hitting rock bottom, the only other way is up. So, I was done. I was so done. Dude, I literally came out of jail with only the clothes on my back. That's all I had. I had to start over. Clothes, job, home, everything. No car, dude. You know how much it sucks to be on the bus? It's really, really hard. Not just to function, going shopping, buying clothes, partying. It's hard to be on the bus. So I had to start all over. But I had hit rock bottom, my moment of clarity, and I made a conscious decision to change my life around. And so I was done. I was done. I had to go through the motions of going through the treatment. I went through treatment. I took the classes, and I didn't take it for granted. I still needed to learn stuff like survival skills. And they talk about people, places, and things. I had to change the people, places, and things. I had to change my lifestyle. And it was really, really hard because in my heart and in my mind, I was done. So I didn't really need to do that, but it was court appointed, so I went ahead and did it. But it was hard for me personally because they reiterate the importance of one, going through the 12 steps, two, changing your life around, and needing coping skills because you're addicted to drugs because you can't deal with the shit that you got going on, so you turn to drugs to deal with it. But it was hard for me because I'm like, I don't believe that because I only get high to have fun. To me, I didn't need it. I was only getting high just because I liked doing it. I wasn't physically dependent on drugs the way addicts usually are. And the proof in it was when I got out, I never got high again. I did drink, which you're not supposed to do if you're a true addict because it kind of like makes you want to get high. And there were times where I thought about, a little bump would be cool right now. But I never did. I think I relapsed once. Horrible, horrible experience. So that reinforced the need to stay sober, at least from coke. I never did coke again. And like I said on my criminal background video, I never went back. I never went back. I successfully completed probation. I went back to school. Got my bachelor's, got my master's, and even now, when life gets tough, life gets hard, challenging, whatever. doing coke is like the last thing on my mind. I may be like, I'm so stressed out that I need a drink. I'm so pissed off that I need a drink. There's times where doing a shot, I mean, it's a depressant, so it can calm you down, especially when you're so hyper or so pissed off. But I've never been so like, oh my god, my life sucks that I need to get high, you know, and that's even when the worst thing that ever happened to me, I still did not go down that route. And it's always been hard for me because I had just talked to somebody about my drug use, and I was like, I just decided I was done. I just made up my mind that I'm done. I'm just not gonna get high no more. Just like when I quit smoking, my first wife was like, I don't like that. I was like, neither do I. If you don't like it, I don't like it. Done. Never bought them again. Never smoked them again. I was done. And I still, even though we're not together or we haven't been together for years, I still don't smoke. I still don't get high. And to me, and I had told this person that I honestly believe that if you make up your mind, you can stop. And and I know it's okay. You can get mad if you want to. You can get upset and say this guy is full of shit, blah blah blah, whatever. Like I said, this might cause a lot of controversy with some people because of the whole physical addiction part aspect of it. Like I said, maybe I was never truly addicted to it. I honestly believe that if you make up your mind and in your heart you decide I'm done, you can be done. I think with any addiction, not just drugs, whatever thing you're addicted to, if you make up your mind, and nobody can make up your mind for you, and that's one thing that I have a problem with interventions. Um, I think they could work, but they will only work if the person wants to change. If all my family and friends had come to me and said, "This is an intervention, you need to stop," I would have been like, "Yeah, I should," because I didn't want to. If they would have, like the first time I went to rehab, the first time, and I still came out using because I didn't want to stop. I needed to decide for myself that I was done. And it wasn't until I decided that I was done that I was able to stop using. So, you may know somebody that is addicted. I know of a specific person that has used for many, many years and has never stopped, even due to health problems. And they won't stop. Like Tio Neto, he would still drink even to the point of being hospitalized. Comes back out, still continues to drink. Why? Because he didn't want to stop. Until you decide for yourself that you want to stop, you will not stop. So if you're thinking that you have somebody that is an addict, whether it be food, cigarettes, whatever, relationships, no matter, nagging them will not help. You could pray for them, and I'm not, trying to upset anybody by saying that praying is useless. I think you should pray for them, but I think you should pray that they decide for themselves that they want to stop. And an intervention could help, but you have to approach it from the aspect that you can't tell this person, "Oh, we care about you, so stop using for us," because guess what? they're going to be doing it for the wrong reasons. They're going to be bitter about it, and they're not truly going to stop because they're doing it for you. They're not doing it for themselves. They have to do it for themselves. So if you want somebody to stop, you need to reach out to them and say, "You're killing yourself. Don't do it for me. Do it for yourself. Do it because you care about yourself, you love yourself, and you want to change your life for you." And I can honestly say that I stopped using for my first wife, but when it was all said and done and everything was over and done with, I stayed clean and sober for myself. And everything that I did, going back to school and just changing my life around, I did it for myself. Because, and I will say this all the time, you need to live your life for yourself. The things that you do, do it for yourself. I went to school because I wanted to make my mom proud of me. That's why I went back to school. But I still did it for myself because I wanted her to be proud of me. So if you really want somebody to stop, to change their life around, or whatever, to live their life differently, nagging them won't help. Threatening them won't help. Ultimatums, no. It would be just a waste of your time, a waste of your breath. And if you really truly want them to stop, you have to get them to stop for themselves, and you have to get them to really truly want them to stop. That's just the way it is. Because when it's all said and done, you have to live your own life. Even if somebody paid my rent, paid my bills, and bought my food, bought my clothes and everything, guess what? I'm still the one that has to live my life. So think about that. And think about it before you react. I'm not saying that rehab doesn't help, and I'm not saying that the 12 steps don't help. I'm just saying that there are other ways. So explore all your options, and just remember that no matter how much money you spend or how much nagging you do, that if you want somebody to stop, they have to want to stop. And they have to want to stop for themselves, and they need to do it for the right reasons. With that being said, be good to yourselves. God bless you all, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy any future videos that I make from now on. Thank you.